All right, and we are here, folks, at Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast, where we come to you Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, talk to you about the people, places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. And I'm gonna do something here really quick, folks. We just changed our microphone setup here today, and I can already hear a buzzing sound. And I'm going to try to alleviate that problem really quick right now. May not be able to. Okay, well, we'll see what we can do, and maybe you can't hear it, but I can definitely hear it. Anyways, want to welcome you all to the show today. This is the last Friday of the year. So it's the last Friday of 2022. We got a new microphone. We've got a Rebel Red on. As a matter of fact, I got my Rebel shirt on. And, of course, my Rebel silicone bracelet on my wrist. And it's in, because we want to celebrate and really support our UNLV Rebels. So, have not been on all week long. Got really busy this week. Was doing trying to work on some sound and some lighting over at another location. So, just been gone all week long. It's just been one of those crazy weeks. But we have been here in spirit, and I know you've all been here. You've all been here too. I want to welcome all of our friends on Facebook. If you're checking us out on Facebook, and I'm going to go over there really quick right now and check out our channel. Let's see, where's our channel? There it is. And this is all new. This is all new, folks, and we want to make sure that we're actually up and running. Looks like we're running fine. And so many of you noticed that I'm wearing headsets now. Yeah, because it's in the past I've had a real hard problem hearing myself, and so now I'm wearing the headset so I can hear myself a lot better. Things look good. I'm looking at the show right now. Things look good, and will be cool. So it's the last Friday of 2022. I'm wondering how many of you have actually had a really good year. I mean, a really good year. I know personally this has been a challenging year. We've launched new magazine. We launched actually several magazines. Plus, the podcast has continued on since 2021 when we actually started the podcast in 2021. Now, end of the year in 2022. Yeah, end of the year in 2021, and then it's 2022. So we've hit an entire year of the podcast and done a lot of changes. And as I look back over this year, I could say we've seen some literally crazy things happen this year. Ups and downs, sideways. And I think the biggest thing, if you ask a question of what has been the biggest thing about this show, is it's been a time of change and adjustment. That's probably been the biggest thing. It's just a lot of adjustment that we've had during the show and during the entire year that we've had. Has it been good? Oh yeah, it's all good. I think it's always good when you have a change and you're able to do some shifting. And so for 2023, this is my biggest thing for 2023, is that we grow a lot more. Grow in staff, we grow in content, grow in context, and the amount of stuff that we're able to bring to the show. That's really my biggest thing, is we want to continue to grow with this show. So so I'm very excited about that. And so I just got somebody actually. So I can see you in the chat, folks. So if you're chatting with us right now, I can see you. And I want to thank Chris Dyer for letting us know that yes, I do have headphones on. I do have headphones on now, so I can actually hear myself. And you can't hear the buzz, which is great. I can still hear it, but as long as you can't hear it, I'm good. That's fine. So let's do this. So let's talk about some of the parties that are going to go on, because this is the last day of the year. Tomorrow, no, today's what, 30th? Let me make sure. Today's the 30th, so we still have one more day. And the 31st is New Year's Eve here in Las Vegas and around the world, and everybody's going to be doing some really crazy things and we wanted to let you know about some of the parties that are going on. We asked folks to send in some of the things that they're doing for 2023 for New Year's Eve, and we I think this we did this Monday. Last week we did, at least last week we were talking about some of the places that are going to be at. Area 15. If you get a chance to go out there, I've been by there probably 4 or 5 times this week. Area 15 is just blowing up, folks. It's just, for those of you who don't know what Area 15 is, it's right off of the I-15, and I don't know what its major street is. I've never actually got to go there because I've been invited several times, just never get a chance to go out there. This year I'm going to head out there to Area 15, but Area 15 is blowing up. It's right off the I-15, right before you get to Spring Mountain Road. You'll see it on the right-hand side of the road. Blowing up, and so you want to check it out. They're going to have all kinds of crazy stuff going on out there. Jackpot New Year's Eve at downtown Las Vegas Event Center, so you can actually check that out. You've got heavy hitters like Adele, Bruno Mars, Gwen Stefani, The Killers. They'll be performing down there. But you're going to be able to see some great things. What else? The Foundation Room. So that's high atop of the what is it called? The hotel now? I think that's what it's called now. It used to be called Mandalay Bay, but it's way down there. I guess it is still Mandalay Bay. And so they're going to have bottle service. So hopefully you've saved your shekels because it's going to set you back a little bit. Starting at about $2,000 for bottle service. And the diamond package is about $8,000. As a matter of fact, we launched our magazine at the Foundation Room. So it's way up on the top of the Mandalay Bay. And it was very spendy. I can tell you right now. It set me back, and we had a great time, but it was kind of spendy. New Year's Eve, 15-hour rooftop party at the Terrace after hours. That'll be actually pretty cool. I know what that is. That was a sound. So something was on. Oh, I get what it was. So the buzzing stopped in my ears, folks, and now I know what that buzzing was. It actually had nothing to do with our sound system here. It was something here in the studio. And downtown's newest nightclub, We All Scream, and a little more reasonably priced. You'll receive a free bottle of champagne. Oh, that's champagne. I'm sorry. No, I knew what the word was. Champagne. $20 to $500. WeAllScream.com. And let's mention one more. I love to stay downtown. I really do. It's so cool. Chris Brown's going to be at Dre's. So let's just say that. So about $250 to about $300. So you get all the price ranges out there, folks, for your adult partying thing. The Gold Spike. If some of you guys wear out the Gold Spike, that's actually pretty easy too. So December 31st, 8 p.m., $15 to $85. Pretty darn sweet. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty cool. So anyways, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on here in Vegas. You really have to you have to try not to go out and enjoy yourself on a New Year's here in Las Vegas, because we've got parties everywhere. I mean, not just a few places, but everywhere in Las Vegas. And I'll be working on my car. Yeah, I know. So do I need to tell you about this? Okay, I'm going to tell you the story. So my wife gets home yesterday in the car, and she calls me. She goes, "Hey, honey, I got a problem with the car." And I said, "Well, what's the problem with the car?" And she says, "Well, the steering locked up on me." As she was pulling in our driveway, into our garage. The steering wheel, which was actually the power steering, something happened. It just blew up, just stopped. So I think what it was is we lost something. We lost a vacuum, or something happened in our power steering, and we got the car into the garage. But now it's after we do the podcast here, folks, and we upload all this stuff to the internet. I'm going to be out in my garage working on power steering for my truck. Yeah, it's always fun. Let's do one more story here, and then we'll take a break. Okay. So CES, many of you know CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. It is next week, and in 2022 when we had this, the 2022 version of the CES, we were experiencing COVID, and a lot of people canceled. A lot of people have said, "Hey, we're not going to this thing. You know, we've got this new Omicron variant, and it's surging. We're not going to be going to Vegas, and so we're not going to have our people go out there too." So, an expected crowd of 100,000 or so whittled down to literally, I don't know, 40,000 people. So, this year they're expecting it to be back up. So next week we're going to have the 2023 version of Consumer Electronics Show. And let me tell you something, folks. The Consumer Electronics Show is just like nothing else. I've been there several times, and it's spectacular. All the newest gadgets, and I'm a gadget guy. I've got more gadgets around me, near me all the time. I got a brand new soundboard here in front of me that I've not been using. I mean, I've got 2-3 soundboards, and I never use them. And I've been going down with just using my MacBook and stuff like that, and using the other stuff that's in here. But I've gone now to using my soundboard because it really is the way to go. And you want to be able to. And I got this new microphone, which is great. It's an AKG, just top of the line microphone. Only thing I don't like about this microphone is it picks up everything. I mean, can you hear my chair? I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. But I can hear everything with this thing, and with the headphones and everything else. So I might just go out to the CES show to see what kind of new microphones I have, especially since COVID hit. A lot more people are doing podcasting, which means there's more toys. More toys. And that's really what it's all about, is more toys. So anyways, let's do this, folks. Let's take a real quick break. And we'll be back in just a second, folks, with more of the Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm your homeboy, Sherman Ray. We'll be back in just a second. All right. So I want to apologize, folks, because somebody said that we actually had no sound on our podcast, on our commercial. And we'll fix that. It's no big deal. I've been playing around with my audio settings, and many of you, if you've watched the show a lot of times, folks, you know what that is. So I'll give you a little synopsis. If you would like to be on the show, folks, you're an advertiser, you'd like to be on the show, just contact us at advertising livininvegas.com. That's advertising at livininvegas.com, especially coming up in the new year. If you have a connected device, folks, we are able to get to you. That's anywhere in the planet. As a matter of fact, I was listening to a guy who's got a TV what would you call it? He's got a network. His network has been around. His dad actually started it many, many years ago, during the time when you actually had to have cell towers all over the place, and he had to create, the connectivity for everything. Well, since so many people now have created these access points all over the world, we're talking about cell phones, we're talking about platforms, Shopify, all the cool stuff that's out there, Google podcasts, all that other stuff. If you have got a cell phone or a laptop, it is now our broadcast studio that I can broadcast to. So, um, if you want you want to saturate, a, you know, a locale, this is the way to go. It really is. Now, I've seen this before where, and many of you know that I'm an associate pastor now at a church, a local church here in town. And another pastor was talking about his service, and he says, well, on the weekends, he hits about, or he touches about 250,000 people during a weekend. Now you're thinking to yourself, boy, that's a huge church. It's really not. It's not a big church at all. They probably have about, they can probably seat about 4,000, 6,000 people, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot of people. It's his broadcast station that he actually has. So he's able to do it just like we do here on the Live in Vegas podcast. We're actually able to touch a lot of people. So anyways, I said all that and I took all that time to say this. If you'd like to advertise on the show, folks, just contact us. Okay, just contact us. We'll get you out there. Let's talk about a story here, folks. The South Point. I don't know if you heard about this yet. The South Point Hotel and Casino is warning people of a scam. And this scam has targeted its New Year's ticket giveaway and its Facebook account by duplicating a fake account on their social media platform. Dirty sons of... The resort went on to social media and posted a warning on Thursday and said that a fake Facebook account posing as the South Point was created and contacted many of its followers. Oh, this drives me crazy. Now, it's tough enough getting anything started in this world, but when people try to hijack your intellectual property or your account or your idea or whatever you want to call it, that drives you crazy because it just shows the level of nefariousness that's out there. And you know what goes around, what is it called? What is it? What comes around goes around. So you'll get paid back. Don't worry about it. These bad people. So here's the thing. The South Point says that we will never ask for any of your personal information when granting a prize. So they're not going to ask you, hey, what's your social security number? Okay, they're not, or your bank account. So just be careful of scammers out there who try to create fake accounts that pose as somebody that they're really not. They're not nice people. Las Vegas, another unrelated story. Las Vegas recorded nearly 3.3 million visitors in November. Man, we're on fire, folks. On fire. Las Vegas saw nearly 3.3 million visitors in November this year, jump from the year prior, thanks to bolstering convention figures. Okay, we're back on. We're really getting really close to back to where we were before pre-pandemic, folks. November's visitor volume is up 4.9% compared to the same month last year, per new data from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. So that's pretty cool. So once again, we're going to continue to see a tick up as this COVID thing gets out of the way. You're going to probably see more and more of this. Oh, I forgot to mention something. We were talking about the Consumer Electronics Show, which is going to be next week. And the only people that you're probably not going to see a lot of are people who are coming from China, Macau, that area. China, where people are suspecting that the origin of the COVID pandemic came from, the COVID virus came from, has seen a surge in their number of people who are contracting COVID, and here's the weird thing about it, and this happened last time too, folks. It really did. Last time this happened, China, even though they knew people were getting sick, let their people leave their country. And they granted them visas, grabbed them, and said, yeah, go ahead, spread that virus around the world. And that's how the virus got spread, is because China let people out of their country. If they would have quarantined their country, kept it localized, we probably wouldn't have seen the problem we had. There was an interesting story, folks, The title of the story. This actually comes from Channel 13, which is actually kind of cute. They call it "Hogging the Road." And I don't know if you saw this, but a truck spilled pork products on US 95 near Lee Canyon Road. Oh, I know. Got a little bit of piggies on the street there. And, wow. Um, Hot dogs, bologna, and other pork products littered the side of the road in the far northwest Las Vegas Valley after a crash on Thursday morning. Now, I was out that way too. I didn't even see it. So when I go riding my bike early in the morning, folks, I'm way up in that area all the time. And so I didn't see it. Tractor trailer overturned, spilling its cargo across highway and leaving a mess of meat for the crew to mitigate. Wow, isn't that funny? So it impacted traffic for about for several hours, and I guess so. I guess if it gives new meaning to the word. Said when pigs fly. I know I shouldn't have said that, but I did. How many of you have gotten tickets? You've gotten speeding tickets over like the last year or so. Evidently, there was a new law that was brought into, on the books, and it is now being enforced. So this story says it's an AP story, and it said the city of Las Vegas has suppressed almost 35,000 traffic warrants to comply with the new state law. City officials said Wednesday a municipal court has quashed thousands of active warrants and also dropped the fees tied to them. Boy, I wish they would have done this for me when I was a teenager growing up. I'll tell you, I would have. It's all because of the new state law that was passed last year. Legislation calls for some minor traffic violations to become civil infractions. The subjects of the warrant will no longer face potential criminal misdemeanors, possible arrests. I don't know if I got a problem with this. Some things are just probably not really warranting you to have to, go to court for. Now, let's hope this does not become a trend where they're saying, hey, we are going to, allow you to steal several hundreds of dollars of products from people's, storefronts, because that would be terrible. Actually, really bad. How many of you, and I know a lot of you who are listening to the podcast right now, you could be any place watching the podcast, but hopefully none of you got caught up in that Southwest Airlines debacle that has happened. It's really just kind of gripped the nation the better part of a week here. And one of my good friends, Russ Langer, Russ is the voice of the Las Vegas Aviators and also UNLV. And so we were supposed to go out to dinner on Thursday. He and his lovely, lovely wife, Courtney, invited the lovely Mrs. Ray and I out to dinner. And we were just kind of hanging out and just kind of catch up on all good times. Because I've not seen Russ in quite a while. As a matter of fact, since the COVID started, I've talked to him, of course, on Facebook and stuff like that, but haven't been able to see him. And so he called me up and said, "Hey, Sherman, so we were supposed to have dinner last night." He says, "Hey, we can't have dinner because I'm in Vancouver and I can't get a flight back to Vegas." And so his flight still, as far as I know, is not due to come back for another 2 days. That's bad. I mean, that's really bad. And this was a couple of days ago that we talked. So this is not good. And poor Russ. Hopefully, guys, keep your fingers crossed. Pray for him. Light a candle. Whatever you want to do. But to hopefully get Russ back into town, him and Courtney. It's got to be tough. It's just got to be tough that they're not able to get back into town. So here's a new story. I wanted to take a break, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try this one more time. Here, I'm going to do something very quickly here, folks. I know most of you guys cannot see what I'm actually doing here, but I'm going to see if I can. I'm gonna mess around with some stuff here really quick here, folks, so that you guys can actually hear our our advertising. Okay, okay, you should be able to hear it now, which will be great. And let me do my other one too. I'm going to do another one too because I changed things, folks. I probably shouldn't have changed some settings, but I'm going to do it anyways. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and take another break, folks. We'll come back with the final couple of minutes of the show. This is Sherman Rain. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll be back in just a second. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, and we are back, folks. It's Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We come to you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for talk to you about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas, folks. That's my my dashing and debonair voice. I hope you enjoy it. Anyways, this is finally Friday. It is our last Friday of the year. It's a year in review. It's a whole look back, that kind of stuff. Very excited about what has happened with the show. What we'll do is next week, when we have the show next week, we'll actually do a kind of a year in review, because there's going to be some things that are going to be going on. I really feel like we should actually do that on our next show, which will be next Monday, which will be great, and you will enjoy it, folks. We'll do a year in review. What else is going on here? Let's talk about some other cool stuff that's going on. Oh, so here's the story. Did you know that traditionally the New Year's celebration is, the hallmark of it, the highlight of it, is a lot of people drinking to excess, kissing everybody they know and people they don't know, and, waking up the next morning with a tattoo on their face, or being married to somebody that they have no idea, but sounded like a good idea, or getting a tattoo on their back. You didn't even know you were getting a tattoo. So the trend now, and this was started a few years ago by a young lady, and she said that she's from England, and she wanted to improve her running. So she decided that she would, instead of drinking to excess January, New Year's Eve, January 1st, that she would forego that for an entire month. And as a result of that, it would improve her running. Well, that trend actually caught on. Now, people are really seriously saying, hey, we want to be a part of that also. And they call it going dry Januaries. And so for the entire month of January, they're basically saying we're just not going to drink. Which is actually, that's not a bad idea. Now, many of you know that I am a Jamaican. I'm Jamaican, that's why I've got dreadlocks, of course. And I never had dreadlocks. Mom would have killed me. So most Jamaicans do not have dreadlocks. Now, Rastafarians do, those kind of stuff. And a lot of Americans do, but most Jamaicans don't. And as a Jamaican, rum is my jam. So, but going dry January may be the way to go. I think it'd be cool. So that's the trend, folks. So let's get on to UNLV. Okay, we celebrate UNLV. I want to make sure we celebrate UNLV in the last couple of seconds we have. The girls, home opener against, who did they play against? Jackson? I think they did. Yeah, I think they played against Jackson. No, Wyoming. The girls beat Wyoming 73-67. Very excited about that. The guys actually lost in the Mountain West. So we're still doing awesome. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We're still doing awesome. But We did lose. Um, if you want to keep up on UNLV, folks, I encourage you, go to the App Store, download the UNLV Rebel app so that you can actually keep up on everything that goes on in UNLV. It is our team. Wear the red colors, get the silicone bracelet that says UNLV on it. Join the team, folks. Join the team. Get hip and become part of the Rebel Nation. The Raiders are still in the hunt for the playoffs, so don't discount them. Don't count them out yet, folks. We win the last few games of the season, and we get a little bit of help from people on the other side. We're doing great. We do have a game against the 49ers. Okay, and I'm not a 49er fan. I was when I was in 5th grade, and then I had a come to Jesus moment, folks, and became a Dallas Cowboy fan. But we love our Raiders, and they're playing against the 49ers this weekend. Folks, keep them in your prayers. We have a great shot at it. The 49ers have the number one defense in all football, but it doesn't mean anything. Okay, you have to score too. All right, and we can definitely score. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray for the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to thank you all for being a part of the show, folks, and making 2022 a fantastic time. We look forward to being back with you again in 2023 when we come back and talk to you about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, folks, think living local and the return of cool. We'll see you again, folks. Bye-bye.